to my channel. Bing! Alright, you guys, so we have something special video. Actually, my sister requested this video and actually thought it would be cool. She asked me if I could tell stories, like scary stories, while, you know, I dress up like either the character or do a scary, like, Halloween face. I don't know, like painted face or costume or whatever.
Oh, we could call it Halloween makeup.
Oh, Halloween makeup. Get ready with me, Halloween makeup, while I tell a scary story. That's a long title, but it works. But anyways, so we decided to do stories on haunted dolls or scary dolls, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna do my makeup for my first story, and it's gonna be the Raggedy Ann doll, which a lot of people don't know, but the Raggedy Ann is the actual Annabelle doll, not the porcelain doll. It's kind of similar to what the actual Annabelle doll did, like little scenes in here. Obviously they're gonna try to make it look like scarier, more realistic, but I mean, regardless, a haunted doll is a haunted doll. That's just scary anyways. So the story of Annabelle took place, the real story of Annabelle, from what I've read, took place in 1968 when these two nurses lived together in some apartment complex, and one of the nurses picked up the doll and bought it as a gift for the other nurse. And I guess after time passed, the doll started, like, they started noticing that they would put the doll somewhere, like on one side of the house, and it would end up on the other side of the, not the house, the apartment. If they left her with her legs crossed, when they came back, the doll had her legs uncrossed, or vice versa, because I don't remember exactly. There was things here and there. So they already noticed that something was up, and they thought it was kind of fishy, like what the hell is going on, right? So then I guess one day when the nurses came home, they found a note, like a parchment paper note with like a red crayon, and the note said, like, help me. That's just crazy. And just so you guys know, the nurses do claim that they don't have crayons in their house. First of all, they're nurses. They don't have kids or anything. And they don't have parchment paper anywhere around the house, so they don't know where that came from or what. But the note was literally right next to the doll, so that's some scary shit right there. Well, anyways, you guys, damn, it's already on your eyebrows. You gotta hurry up. Hold on.
Look at that. Look at that. No brows and eyebrows. I have no eyebrows, guys. So these are just me filling them in.
Going back to the story, after time, the nurses, like, noticed that the doll, like, was trying to talk to them. So for some reason, they weren't that scared of it anymore, but they would treat it like if it was a live person, like a real, like, little girl or whatever. So I guess it would, like, when they were having dinner or breakfast or whatever, they would sit the doll on the table with them, because they thought that the doll was basically just a spirit trying to communicate with them or something like that. And after a while, everything was good. And then one day when they were having breakfast, they said that the doll's arms elevated to the table, like actually on the table. And that's when they were like, okay, this is for real, like, we just seen it. Like, so that's when Ed and Lorraine, which is actually on the Annabelle story, The Conjuring, all that stuff, if you guys did see the movie, and they're demonologists, so they're for real. They ended up calling, like, they called a priest first or whatever and tried to have an exorcism done on the doll, but they noticed that it was just making, like, things around the house, and more things happen. And then one of the nurses' fiance slept over one day, and he slept on the couch. So according to him, he had this really bad nightmare that the doll came and started climbing his leg. until she got into his neck and started choking him out or whatever. And then he woke up. So when he woke up and he was telling, you know, the nurses or whatever, like what had happened, he got so mad at the doll that he like threw it across the room, and it like he put the doll down. He was like, "You're nothing but a doll. You're just a Raggedy Ann doll, like whatever." So I don't know. I guess that kind of like got the doll mad, or the spirit or the demon, whatever was inside the doll. And then the doll started doing some crazy shit around the house, and like it got really bad. That's when they called Lorraine and Ed, and that's when they started doing all these exorcisms on the dolls and everything. After that, I guess Ed, when they were taking the doll, that whole part in the movie where he's having car trouble and the doll's in the back of the car. Well, that shit's true, you guys. Like, they said that part is true. That for some reason he started having car trouble on the way back. On the way back home. So out of nowhere, and his car was supposedly in good condition and stuff. But before that, see, I missed the part. Before that, they had called a psychic, and they brought I don't know if it was a medium or a psychic. They brought the medium into the apartment, and they tried calling on the doll, the spirit, whatever. But I guess what the psychic got from the doll was that it was a 6 or 7 year old little girl who had gotten murdered outside that same apartment complex, who they believe took over the doll, and it was her spirit living in that doll. And then after so many things were happening, that they saw that the doll, the spirit of the little girl was like more demonic or whatever. So yeah, guys, the fucking doll was haunted and everything, and these things really did happen. And it turns out that it was the spirit of a little girl who died outside in the apartment complex. And was it a car accident? A tragic car accident? I forgot what I read. That it was a car accident or whatever. And then the demologist noticed that it was a demon possessing the doll. And even if it was the spirit of the little girl, it was a bad spirit. So they did take it to, and it's still actually in Connecticut in this museum, which is freaking crazy. And the doll obviously just looks like a regular doll with a cute little face, and it's just a plain raggedy doll, but it's haunted, it's possessed. So they do keep it in that same box like the movie and everything, all that stuff. It is true. And that's the freaking story about the Raggedy Ann doll. And I know I suck at telling stories, but I tried. Lisa, have you ever had a haunted doll?
Oh, but I'm gonna tell you a story about like my old house. It's like,
is it about doll?
No, it was haunted. My house was haunted. It was like,
you have to tell them the story, not me.
Yeah, I'm telling the story.
Okay,
but
tell them.
So I was probably still in high school. One time, my cousin came over, so it was like, your basic ass Saturday. So we were just in there playing video games. So back then we were, into Nintendo 64. Everybody's playing the, Mario Kart and whatnot, So one day everyone was in there, and then it got like, we were all loud and stuff, and then as soon as it got quiet.
Out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere, okay. My closet shake. We're like, yeah, so we looked at each other and we fucking bounced. Like, we left the room, we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened?
Lisa,
like,
we cannot be friends no
there was
more.
like no one in there. There was like no one in the closet.
Did you guys check to see if there's someone in there?
No, there's no one in there.
How'd you know we didn't check?
We looked. Like, we left and we came back and we looked. There was nothing in there.
That's a motherfucking cuckoo. I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah, and then, in that house has always given me a bad vibe, like, ever since we moved in there. So one time my sister was telling me that she would, sleep in my brother's room. And she said that one time she felt like something was looking at her. Like, weird.
I'm not sleeping alone tonight, that's what I'm saying.
Oh. And she said that she was under the blanket for some reason. Something tells her to get out of the cover. So she did, and she felt like, and then there was someone laying on top of her.
What do you
black
mean?
Shadow. Yes, it was a black shadow. And she freaking went under the blanket. I was like, no, like
I believe, because I had a similar encounter like that. Like, I don't know if I ever told you about those two black shadows that were like messing with me.
Yeah, you told me.
All right, guys, I'll tell you. I know this is not a doll story, but I'll tell you guys real quick what happened. So, my first job out of high school, well, during high school and out of high school, was Jack in the Box. So they were training me for a manager position. So they sent me to San Diego, and you know, I'm like, whatever. I'm all excited, like, oh, I'm going to San Diego, whatever. So I go with this other my coworker Ray, who they were also training for manager because they were gonna open a new store. So, and then they were gonna send us both to the new store. So they sent. Luckily, they said, okay, you guys can go together, like, for training. And so we went to San Diego, and they got a hotel for us there to stay. And we went out. We're trying to, like, find things to do because, you know, I've never been to San Diego. That was like my first time. We ended up staying at the Hilton in San Diego, and for some reason, like, it was boring out there, and we couldn't find anything to do. What happened was that night we just ended up getting something to eat, and that's it. We ended up going back to the hotel. So what was scary is that I already had a bad feeling about, like, the hotel, like, well, the room I was staying in. I don't know why, but it just felt weird. I just remember that it was a big old room, and it was one huge king size bed. So I was like, whatever. And I was already kind of like a scary cat, you know, because I used to watch a lot of, like, scary movies and all that stuff. So don't laugh, bitch.
Yeah, because I'm a scaredy cat too.
For some reason, I couldn't go to sleep, and I was just, like, so sleepy that I was like, oh my god. So finally I was like, okay, just go to sleep, Jessica. You have to wake up at 7 for training in the morning. And I was just so freaking tired. So I already had put, like, the sheets, like, to cover me, like, kind of like this, but I had, like, a little hole I could peek out of, you know, just to see what was going on in my room. And mind you, I did sleep with, like, one light on, and I, like, one of the side, there's, like, two on each side on the nightstands. So I did sleep with one of them on. So the crazy thing is that I was falling asleep, and with the sheet, like I said, and out of nowhere, this is crazy, guys. This is when it gets freaking real, okay? So out of nowhere, I'm falling asleep, you know, and I feel like the sheets move, and I'm like, okay, I'm tripping. It's the, you know, like, the air or something. I'm like, wait, there's no fan in here. It's AC. Like, what's going on? And I'm scared, so I don't even want to take this blanket out of my face, and I wasn't even brave enough to peek through the hole. I wasn't. So I was like, oh no, like, I'm tripping, I'm half asleep, I just need to go to sleep. So I'm, like, trying to force myself to sleep, right? I don't even care if my eyebrows are good or not. I'm just gonna hurry up with this makeup. So, guys, like, literally, the sheets just start, like, slowly, they were like this, right? And the sheets slowly start just, like, coming down my face like this, and I'm like, oh my god. But I'm trying not to, like, show that I'm scared or panic. I was pretending I was asleep, so, you know, whatever was pulling it could be like, oh, she doesn't even know we're fucking doing this, you know? Mm-hmm. So the sheets start going like this, and that's when I'm, like, kind of, like, I open my eyes a bit, and then, like, I'm like, you know, I'm already chinita, but then I can see, like, two black shadows, and I'm telling you, it was, like, shadows, like, where they had, like, a form, like a human form, you know, but it was just a black shadow. Like, it wasn't, like, no monster or anything. It was, like, literally, like, human shaped shadows, like, just dark shadows. And this is, like, the worst part. So I open my eyes and I see the shadows, and then I just start, like, I didn't scream because I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't scream. And out of nowhere, like, they just pick up the blanket, and they start, there's one on each side, and they just start going like this. And it's like the blanket's just hitting me back and forth in the face, and I'm like, shaking. I don't know what to say, and I'm just like losing it. And then out of nowhere, it's like all I could think is like, pray, Jessica, pray. So I just start praying, but I didn't know what prayer to say or what to do or anything. That when I started like praying, I kid you not, I started saying like 10 prayers at one time. The prayers I started saying, I'm so freaking fast that I started like speaking in tongue. Like, it was so weird. Like, I can't explain it, and maybe, you know, people won't believe me, but I literally started speaking in tongues. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. And like, when I started doing that, like I said, I didn't know what prayer I was saying, whatever. I was saying La Santa Maria, Padre Nuestro, Niñito Jesus. I was saying all of them put together. And all I remember was like the shadows turning around, going like this, and then looking down at me. And they didn't have no face or anything. It was just a shadow, but you can see by like the shape of the head, they're like looking down at me. And they looked down like this, and then they let go of the blanket, and then they flew, and then it went behind like the TV through the wall. And oh my God, I was so scared. I grabbed the blankets and I covered myself again, and I just kept praying and praying and praying and praying. And then all of a sudden, I had my eyes closed, and then all of a sudden I see, like, you know when there's like a bright light that even when you have your eyes closed,
Yeah.
that you can see the light, like that bright light. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is that? So I open my eyes, and the whole room is just full of like a bright light, like so bright I couldn't explain it. It's supposed to be like scar tissue. Alright, going back to my motherfucking story. So they left, and the whole bright light was like, I'm telling you, it didn't hurt your eyes. Like, and for some reason, like, that scary feeling that I had, like, that whole entire feeling that I had, it just went away. Like, I feel like God was saying it's safe. Like, don't worry, like, it's safe. So I opened my eyes and I looked, and like I said, I opened them wide, and I was just looking around, and it was like this fog, like this foggy, bright light. I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. So, then out of nowhere, like, I'm just looking around, I'm still laying on the bed, and like I hear a knock on the door, so it's like, and then I'm like, what the hell? And I'm scared. I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And then the light slowly dims, but it's still light because now it's daytime outside, and I can see through my window that the sun's out. So the night flew by. And all I hear is like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who's knocking at, you know, my hotel room? Like, what is that? So I'm kind of like still like startled. And then all I hear is like, open the door, bitch.
That's like literally made her day.
Yeah, they're like, open the door, bitch. And it was my friend Ray. Like, he was funny. He's like super like, but he's funny as fuck. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm so scared. I don't want to touch the floor. Like, I feel like something was gonna grab my freaking leg. So I get on the bed and I jump, and like as close as I could to the door, and I open it, and I just remember like running and just hugging him, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what's wrong, bitch? What happened? And I was like, oh, and I started telling him like everything that happened. He was like, you need to go to church. And then he was like, eso es lo que te pasa por tus pecados. Like, so basically telling me that's what you get for sinning and stuff like that.
Oh no.
And oh my God, like seriously, I told him the story, and he believed me because he saw how scared I was. He believed me, but he was just like, fuck. So I had to end up like, we went in my car to San Diego, so I was so happy to leave. And actually that was the last night that we stayed there, because I remember I was so happy to pack and just leave. And then what sucked is that I had picked him up from his house, so even after we drove like an hour and a half from San Diego, I still had to take him home. And then let me tell you, that the drive home was the worst, because I was so scared and everything. I didn't even want to look in the
back room mirror. I know.
I did not
want to look.
I was like, nope, I'm not gonna look. Fuck you, ghost. I am spirit, whatever you are. I'm not looking, because I know that's what you want me to do, but I'm not looking. So I didn't look, but sometimes I would be like, you know. And oh my god, and at that time I was just like, I just wanted to get home already. I was like, oh my god, I want to be home. One time I want my mommy. So when I finally got home, oh my god, I saw my mom and I hugged her and I was scared and I started crying. I told my mom what happened, and the crazy thing is that my mom did believe me. She's like, things happen like that, So my mom did believe me, but I literally could not go to sleep by myself for like months. But yeah, you guys, that's the only thing that I ever really had like a scare or like scared me the most. So going back, man, we're not even done. I'm gonna end up like
editing.
Yeah, and like boring to this because I'm sorry, you guys, this makeup's taking forever. You guys, so yeah, what else did I say? That I told you guys my scary story, and other doll story that I was gonna tell you guys is La Pascualita or Pascualita. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you guys, this story is crazy, okay? And this is like for real, for real. The story about the Pascualita takes place in Chihuahua, Mexico. So people say that this shop owner had a daughter who was gonna get married, and on the actual day of her wedding, the daughter got bit by a black widow and died. So she didn't even get to get married or make it to her wedding or anything, and she died in her actual like wedding gown and everything. So the shop owner or the mom took this, like, obviously it's her daughter, she's gonna take it really bad, and they said within a couple of days, I don't know, months, whatever, after the daughter had passed, a new mannequin was placed in the shop's front window, and people started noticing that like the doll looked very much alive, not alive, but like human. It had human features, like it looked real realistic. That's what I should say. Not only that, but not rumor, because Taurus. As a Taurus, like a Taurus. They say that the doll that's in the window even has varicose veins on her legs and stuff like that, and that her hands are like very human-like, and that workers there claim that the doll follows them like with her eyes, and people passing the window claim the same thing too, that they've seen her blink. There's even people that said that they've seen her move like her head. And if you really look at the pictures or look it up, you're gonna see that this doll, like when I look at it, I'm just like, okay, but then when you really look at it, like the hands has every wrinkle, the nails, like it's freaking creepy.
The veins.
Yeah, so they claim it has veins, like the nails grow and some other stuff, and it's been there since 1930. Yeah. Like, yeah, so like 90 something years now, and it's real, and people go in, and till this day this doll is still there, and people do believe that it's not the mannequin, it's not a mannequin, it's the corpse or mummified body of the shop owner's daughter. So I don't know, you guys, next time that you guys are at Chihuahua, Mexico, make sure to go check that doll out. And then for my last story, because after this I'm just gonna forward it, because we're gonna take hours doing this makeup with eyeshadow. I'm not. She is, because I'm literally just gonna do my Raggedy Ann nose. That's it. So there's this other doll. What was it called? Kiku doll? I forgot. Let's see what it was called. I'll tell you guys right now. Okiku doll. Like a Japanese doll or whatever. So the story behind that doll is that this guy bought this doll in the market. When he saw it, he just felt like, oh my god, I have to get this doll. And he bought it for his 2-year-old sister. And turns out that his sister fell in love with this doll. Like, they were inseparable. Like, everywhere she was, the doll was always with her, and they were together 24/7. They slept together, they ate together, they played together, everything. And everybody knew who the doll was. They always saw the little girl with the doll. And then, unfortunately, a year later, or I believe it was a year later, what happened is that the little girl got really sick and ended up dying. And everybody wanted to, everyone wanted to, maybe for a lipstick, to put the doll in the coffin with the daughter, but for some reason they didn't, and they noticed that they seen the doll like weird, like they started noticing the doll around the house more. Not only that, but they would see it like not move, but it would appear in different places when nobody even touched the doll. And then they started noticing that her hair looks good. They started noticing that her hair started growing, and it would just, her hair would grow, and they ended up cutting it. It would grow to like the doll's knees. They would end up cutting it or whatever, and it would continue to grow. And to this day, they have it in Japan. I forgot where. I don't even know if I'm getting this right, but the whole thing about the doll's hair growing is creepy. Not only that, but they analyzed the hair that they supposedly cut from the doll, and it was said that it was child's hair. Yeah, that it was a little girl's hair or whatever, but I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But yeah, you guys, that's my doll stories that I have for you guys. I know I suck at telling stories, and then we ended up telling you our own personal story. But yeah, so if you guys don't believe me, look into these stories. I'm telling you the truth. Maybe I got some stuff like confused, twisted, wrong, or anything, but that's the motherfucking story. Okay. There is these the other doll stories that I want to tell you guys, but since I don't know if you guys actually like me telling you stories because I suck at it, if you do want to see or hear, I should say, or see more videos, to see more videos of me telling you doll stories, make sure you hit that like button and comment below doll stories. So what I'm going to do now is forward this video, forward, because this is going to take a long time. And then I'll show you guys my final results. But you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And I'll see you guys at Escape. We'll see you guys at Escape. Guys, this is the finished look. Don't forget to like and subscribe.